Good morning. My name is Jason. Those of you who remember me from the magic of OpenG tuning, welcome back to my channel. I'm basically going to use this to give you a few little lessons in OpenG songs by the Rolling Stones mostly. Today I wanted to focus on, for my first single song lesson, I wanted to focus on Tumbling Dice, which is probably one of my favorite Rolling Stones songs. I just think it's like probably the best song on Exile, even though there's a lot of great songs on Exile, but that just is obviously known as the hit or the main song, whatever. I like it, so bottom line. So screw y'all if you don't. Anyway, it's an OpenG tuning. Anyone who doesn't remember or doesn't know how to get an OpenG tuning, just try to watch my last video, which is called The Magic of OpenG Tuning. I only have one other video on here right now. Or at least this is the second video that I'm recording, so I may have other videos after this that reference that. Whatever. You get the point. Just go back to that video, Magic of OpenG Tuning, and it'll show you how to get into OpenG Tuning from standard. It's very easy. You can either do it by ear, use a tuner. Use an online tuner is also helpful. You can just go to online tuner OpenG, and that'll show you how to do it as well. But anyway, Tumbling Dice. It's a very simple song if you break it down into parts, because there's really only a few parts to it, and I'm going to break it down right now. For those of you who are not familiar with the song, I would listen to the song first and get familiar with it and kind of remember it, even if you haven't listened to it in a while, so that because I'm actually not going to play it here, I'm just going to play it on guitar. So those of you who don't really remember it, just watch the song. So obviously, first thing is the intro. That's always the first thing of a song. So we're going to start with the intro. And the intro is very simple, very quick, and it's played a couple of times in the song during the "Call Me the Tumbling Dice" part. So if you take your guitar, you're going to have a cap on the 4th fret. Remember, in OpenG tuning, so when you play openly, it's going to sound like this. That's your open ring. So the intro starts with the 2nd fret on the G string, and it's going to be a slide up to the 4th fret. So then you slide back to the 2nd fret. So that's really the first note. Then you're going to go to the 2nd fret of the next string up. And you hear that I'm playing both strings, the string that you're fretting and the string right below it, both times. It gives it a ringing tone, and that's kind of what they're going for there. Then you're going to the 4th fret of the G string up here. It's now a G string, not an A string anymore. And it's just a simple slide back to the 2nd. So in its entirety, the intro is... Okay? At full speed. So that's the intro. And again, it's played in a part where I'll show you where it's played again. But basically, the verse riff, when Mick comes in, is very, very simple. It's just the open strings, and it's the Keith Richards shape, as I like to call it. The shape from, Start Me Up. Same thing. Okay, it's just these two fingers. I use this, when it's open, I use the 1st finger and the 2nd finger, even though usually you should be using these 2 fingers with the 1st finger as a bar when you're moving it around. That's a lesson for another time. Rocks off. Anyway, so you're using these 2, and it's the 2nd fret of the 3rd string down. What is that? That's a D string, and then the B string, the 1st fret. So the verse only kind of, and you can play around with it. You can listen to kind of what Keith's rhythm is for it. It's kind of an interesting rhythm. And that's that whole verse part where, right? Then it goes to the 7th fret, and again, I'm going off of this as being 0. So this is like the 11th fret on a real guitar. So if you're used to seeing the 2 dots for the 12th fret and you want to go off of that, then we'll go off of that. So the verse riff, which
then it goes up to the 11th fret, and it's just this real quick kind of blues thing. Open again. Then it goes back to the 9th fret and up to the 11th fret for that little part in the middle. Back to the verse. So that's pretty much the entire verse, both verses. And then there's a little thing at the end of, like, towards the end of the verse, and I guess you would call it the chorus. It's not a chorus per se, but it's kind of like a chorus. You know, they do the little "You've got to roll me," and then after that part, roll me part, it goes back to that rhythm when they do call me the time of right. So, and then it goes back into the verse. So just take the verse riff and replay the whole thing again. So let me play the whole verse riff real quick for you so that you can get all the parts put together. It's right. That's pretty much the entire song until you get to that last riff where it's "you got to roll me, you got to roll me, you got to keep on rolling, got to roll me." That whole thing is kind of like a play on the intro riff, which is all pretty much on the 2nd fret until you get to the top string, which is the A string. Now, this is one part where I'm a little rusty or weird about it because I hear the E string being played at the end. And I know that Keith does not use the E string, so I'm thinking maybe Mick Taylor plays this part or another guitarist. No idea, but I know that it's being played, or at least the notes being played. How I usually do it, and I'm not sure if I'm cheating or doing it easy or something like that, is I do it like this. So all that is the 2nd fret. It goes up and down. It goes pretty much up to the bottom string. Then there's that little thing, the little hammer-on thing with the 4th fret and the 2nd fret. My ham hands are like having trouble with this riff for some reason, but that's pretty much it. The 2nd fret of the G string there, G string. Then it goes up to the D string. Then it goes back to the G string with the little hammer on. Then back down to the D string. Then up to the G string. So it's kind of like a little round riff. Got to roll me. That is the whole song in a nutshell. Those are each part. If you practice each part by itself and then you just put them all together while listening to the song, it usually is that's basically how I learned how to play guitar, is just learning each part and then just putting them all together to play the entire song. So hope that helps. I'm not sure how, other people learn in different ways. They learn in different strokes for different folks, and I understand that. But if you got any questions or anything that I can help with, just leave me a comment or whatever, and we will go from there. But that is Tumbling Dice. That's the best I can do, and I hope you guys liked it. Cheers.